I'm trying to win the Champions League from Liechtenstein. Except Liechtenstein does not have their own football league, and so the clubs play in the Swiss leagues. And because of that, we only have one European slot in the early qualifying rounds of the Conference League. Welcome to the 8th episode of the Vaduz Challenge. We're in charge of FC Vaduz, a club from Liechtenstein who play in Switzerland. In the previous episode, we had our biggest success yet. We won the Swiss Super League for the very first time. With it, we crossed out our final milestone in Switzerland. But we're far from done in this challenge. Now, it's finally time to chase some European glory. Winning the Swiss League is a great achievement, but what if you wanted more than just that? You can, for example, go to the end of season team meeting and state that you're disappointed because you failed to qualify for Europa League. This is simply peak football manager. So let's see if we can qualify for the Europa League by winning the Conference League. We made the run to the quarterfinal literally in the last season, so I think we can properly challenge for the trophy. And to increase our chances, I brought in some upgrades. During the winter transfer window, I signed two players with expiring contracts, Michal Kolarczyk from Sparta Prague and Michel Capriotti from St. Gallen. These two will replace Dorian Derbaci, who went to Badinias in the UAE for 250,000, and Mateo Acimovic, who left for Frosinone for 2.5 million, which was his release clause. But this was just the start. I had to make some more sales. Julian Simoni found his new stop at Derby County for 10,000. Rainer Breidenbach went to Debreceni in Hungary for 200,000 and Anderlecht paid out the 2.2 million release clause for James Padilla. And then Kelvin Neuenhaus chose Portimo NJ for 4 million in total. It was obvious I had to bring in a replacement or two. So I did. Aurelian Petit joined us from Club Brugge for 650,000 before instantly going on loan to Norwich. Sindri Fredriksson joined us from Vikingur for just 180,000. He forced a loan of Benjamin Benoit to Igdir in Turkey. Up front, I wanted to sign Paulo Kilamba from Basel. The problem is, he's now in Hebnitzer, because he joined them. Then I turned my attention towards Michal Posnar from Sigma Olomouc, but no, he chose Stuttgart. And I also tried to sign Cezary Głowacki of Pogoń Szczecin, but he rejected any contract talks and landed in Paris Saint-Germain. Good luck there, Cezary, I guess. But finally, there's a Norwegian Otkar Kvalvik Henriksen from Tromsø who accepted our offer. His price? 3.4 million. At least Jan Bacik from Trencin cost us just under a million. We're quite literally writing history in Europe. Switzerland broke into the top 10 of the coefficient rankings, but the main talking point is Liechtenstein. We're just behind in 12th. But let me tell you something shocking. We will start our European adventures in the very first qualifying round. Don't worry though, we easily progressed to the league stage with wins over B36 Tolshevd, OFI Crete, Apollon Limassol and Kairat Almaty. We were given a favorable list of teams in the league stage. Arguably, Celje of Slovenia are the strongest opponents. Was I right? Yes, because we only lost one match. And no, because the opponents we lost to were Újpest from Hungary. Other than that, it was 4 wins and a drop. We collected a total of 13 points and landed on 9th. This means a knockout playoff round where we'll take on Apoel. But what about the domestic league? Can we show that the title win from last season was not an accident? Well, despite early losses to Young Boys and Basel, we actually do. We're winning a huge majority of the games, although I have to mention we're not absolutely thrashing our opponents. We usually win by 1 or 2 goals. As predicted, we lead the league by the winter break. We have 5 points of advantage over the second turn and 1 or 2 games in hand on everyone. And honestly, we were doing great. Except there's one small thing that happened just after. My only mission in the winter transfer window was to dodge every single offer for my players. Especially the ones for Patryk Drexa and Tomasz Machacek, who both got offers worth 4 or even 5 million. Thankfully, I dodged the offers well. Mostly. Michel Capriotti requested a transfer after not being happy about his playing time, and his next club is Leganes for 1.5 million. His replacement for 1.1 million is going to be Tilen Nowak from Olimpia Ljubljana. When we returned to the pitch, in terms of our league performance, it largely went well. We got one heavy loss, a 4-1 to Servette, but other than that, and draws to Basel and Young Boys, we were winning. But despite that overall good form, I was worried about us potentially bottling the title. At the end of February, we were only 3 points ahead of sensational runners-up FC Thun. Honestly, there wasn't that much to worry about. We weren't perfect, but we were comfortably dominating the league. Right before the split, we were 11 points ahead of Young Boys and Luzern, and with a win over Thun, we confirmed our second league title with 3 matches to go. And at the end, we won the league with 88 points in total. What's more, Tomasz Machacek became the league's top scorer. Okay, so we sorted out the league and won it as predicted. But what about the main part of this save? The Conference League. We comfortably finished the league stage on 9th and went to the knockout playoff round. In the first match, we played Apel from Cyprus. We first traveled to the small island and quickly conceded 8 minutes in. Thankfully, just 7 minutes later, after a long build-up play, Guillermo Riso equalized. Soon after, Tomasz Machacek got to a 1v1 against the keeper and scored off the post. It was offside. Thankfully, Tomasz then got to a header and scored. It was offside again. Still in the first half, Matthew Delpy took it into his own hands and showed Tomasz how to score without being offside. In the second half, Michal Kolarzyk got the third goal, Oskar Henriksen added a fourth, and Guillermo Riso scored the fifth. It was a very comfortable win, which we followed up in Liechtenstein. Apple opened up the scoring, but Oskar Henriksen and Guillermo Riso both got a response. This led us to a 2-1 win and the round of 16, where we're taking on Girona from Spain. I'm not sure what to think about this. At least, we had the snow to help us. And turns out it helped. Guillermo Riso opened up the scoring 20 seconds into the match. Unfortunately, the lead didn't last long. Valentin Gomez equalized just 9 minutes later. But then, a quick link-up play by our Czech trio led to David Wilczek taking the lead back. We kept the lead for a long time, but the Spaniards found a way to equalize with 20 minutes to go. But we still had a chance nearing the end of the match, except Henriksen hit the post. However, Matthew Delpy didn't. Instead, he scored the winning goal. Even though Sindri Fredriksson received a red card, we held on and took that narrow lead to Spain. Can we keep our result and advance to the quarterfinal for the second time in a row? We definitely can defend from this solo run by Meraki, who was stopped by Szymon Tafat. And then, we again avoided conceding thanks to a crossbar. 19 minutes in, our player Wilczek had a chance of his own, but the keeper stopped it. But there he was. Tomasz Machacek went to have a 1v1 against the keeper and gave us the lead. Except it was offside for the third time in the knockouts. We kept it cool throughout the second half with no highlights until the 84th minute. This is when Girona got their chance to go to the extra time, but Prim only hit the post. But the trouble didn't stop there, because 89 minutes in, the same Narcis Prim sent a low cross, hoping Dumitru Pushkas would slot it in. However, Szymon Tafat stopped it, and we cleared the ball away from the area. A 0-0 draw was enough. We're in the Conference League quarterfinal for the second time in a row, where we got yet another challenging opponent, Fiorentina. This aggregate has quite a lot at stake. It's not just about advancing to the Conference League semi-final, it's also about our potential ticket to the Champions League. Before this quarterfinal, we are first in this season's coefficient rankings with 26 points. We can get a place in the Champions League stage for the first time ever, as long as we manage to stay within this season's top 2. So can we do it? Let's find out. Machacek sends it long to Wilczek. Wilczek has a chance, and with this brilliant lob, he finds the net. We pass to Carboni and it goes in front of the area. Szymon Tafat with a first save tonight, the left back, and Enrique will get that cross. He heads it to Carboni. Delpy to Machacek. And now the question is, was he offside? Well, he didn't score, so it doesn't really matter. First match done. We're in a 1-0 lead over Fiorentina. Closer and closer to the Champions League, or maybe even winning the European trophy. But there's still 90 minutes in this aggregate. Kolarzyk. He gets the ball to Wilczek on the left. Can he do it again? He does it again. David Wilczek again gives us the lead over Fiorentina. Yertler goes down the left wing. Lerma gets the ball to Carboni. It's looking dangerous. It indeed is dangerous. Valentin Carboni equalizes for Fiorentina. Valentin Carboni to Justin Lerma. Brilliant 1-2. Dibern wins it. No. Lebel is on the right. Gets the ball. No, he doesn't get the ball sent to Delpy. And we've got 30 more minutes of action. To Delpy, who sends it long to Bacik on the left. We've still got a chance. And Bacik only hits the side netting, but it's still a corner. It's still a corner. But we're still in the penalty area. The ref cannot stop it. Dibern, one more cross, please. Dibern, Vladimirov. And we've just wasted a chance to at least get a shot in. And looks like we're not having a penalty. Oh no. This happened again. We're not having penalties. They're cancelled. Both teams are going to the semi-final. But let's find out if we at least go to the semi-final. Whatever happens, and we lost. And Novak missed his penalty. Oh my days. We were so close. we genuinely could have gotten to the semi-final, or even win the whole thing. Our rivals went to the final, where they lost 2-0 to Lyon. But like I said before, there is still a chance we skip the part where we have to win both the Conference and Europa League. The question is, do we have enough points to enter the Champions League? Yes, we did it! We won this season's ranking! This means... Wait. Right after I got the article about us clinching the Champions League slot, I realized we were being put in a matchup against Valmiera in the Conference League, and then I had to set the expectations for the Conference League, and had to register the players for the Conference League? Something's definitely wrong here, and this raises one obvious question. Is completing the Vaduz challenge in Football Manager quite literally impossible? So basically there was a major update to Football Manager right after I finished editing this episode. And it's quite a huge update. And in the changelog, it says they've updated the nation and club coefficients for women's football, and I hope they fixed it. I also made a post on the forum speaking about this issue where basically the women's and men's coefficients are mixed up. So let's see if there's any hope for us, to see if this save keeps going. We'll have to go to the fixture schedule, we have to go to the Europa Conference League, and then I'm looking for the coefficient rankings. And now, we're in the men's section, we're first for this season, so we should be there. They didn't. I don't think they fixed it. I mean, just look what's going on. I mean, I'll have to play this game as usual for a month and then we'll see what happens, basically speaking. I think there's a huge problem. Looks like we are involved in a conference league. Oh my days. Oh no. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to actually simulate to September. If nothing changes in September, that we know the save is paused, basically. We're still in the conference league despite winning last season's coefficients. We qualify to the league stage, and it's the conference league stage. We go to the Champions League. Who do we see here? Apparently nobody else other than England has 5 teams in the Champions League stage, so I don't even know what's going on. All I know is that we should have been there. I don't know what you're going to do with this save. Is it on pause? Well, I don't really know. I hope there's a hotfix pretty soon.